So I know that there are some things that you've been striving for. I know that there are some things that you have been hoping for. I know that there are some things that you desire. But my question is, have you been consistent? Like, is your consistency aligned with what you say you want? And listen, I'm talking to myself too. I am talking to myself too, because sometimes I get frustrated when I'm giving all that I know to give, and I feel like it's not working out as quickly as I thought in my mind. Like, you know how in your mind it be all worked out, like it's gonna happen like this, and then it takes longer. You got to invest more time. You got to invest more money. You got to invest more energy. And so a lot of times people don't get to where they want to be because they're not consistent. They show up, they try the thing, it may not work out, and then they just give up. And then they just quit. And then they sink into a slump. And one of the things that I have learned is that consistency creates results. I'm going to say that again. Consistency creates results. When you are consistent, you're going to get better. When you are consistent, you're going to gain more credibility, right? That is your credit and your ability. Like, people will trust you more. You will trust you more when you are consistent. Because sometimes you don't even try or go for it because you can't even trust and believe that you're going to really show up. You're saying you want these things, but you can't count on you to really show up like you're supposed to show up. You can't count on you to wake up when you say you're going to wake up. You can't count on you to work out when you say you're going to work out. And there lies the issue, right? And so a lot of times I'm getting on myself and I'm saying, okay, you say you want this, and this. Well, you need to do it. And you don't need to just do it every other day. You need to do it every day. So my question for you is, what is one thing, one habit, one positive habit that you practice on a daily basis? Whether that be meditating, praying, reading, exercising, watching videos, learning, teaching. What are you doing consistently to get to where you say you desire to be? And so success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. And this is why consistency matters. Consistency picks up when your motivation declines. Consistency picks up when you don't feel like it. When you don't feel like getting out of the bed. That's when your consistency kicks in. That's when you say, I don't feel like it, but I'm going to do it because I made that promise to myself. How many of you are good at making and keeping the promises you make to other people? But when it comes to you, it's something different. So I want you to hold yourself to the same standard that you hold when you're making a promise to someone else. I need you to keep the promises that you make to yourself. If you are saying that in 2025, I am going to make this amount of money. In 2025, I'm going to change careers. In 2025, I'm going to write a book. In 2025, I'm going to be in the best shape of my life. Your job at this point is to take the first step. And the first step is making the commitment to yourself. And when you make that commitment to yourself, you cannot let yourself out of it. You cannot wave the flag of surrender because you hit a roadblock, because you encounter rejection. So a lot of times I'm in this, within 5 pounds, right? And so I kind of dance with it a little bit. I gain it, I'll lose it. I'll gain it, I'll lose it. And I'm like, you gotta do the right thing. Like, you gotta put down the cupcake. You gotta put it down consistently. Like, you might put it down for a month and then pick it back up. Like, that's not helping you, right? So when I teach, when I train, like, I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to me too. I understand that consistency develops mastery. I understand that when you are consistent for long enough, It becomes a habit. It becomes a discipline. And when it becomes a habit, when it becomes a discipline, it becomes autopilot. Like you don't even have to think about it. When you get in your car to drive to work or wherever you go all the time, like you don't have to think about it. Now, do I make a right here or do I make a left? You already know what to do. When you get up to wash your face and brush your teeth, you don't have to think about it. And so that's where you want to be when it comes to developing the habits of winning. That's the mindset you need to have. Like this thing is going to be on autopilot. I'm not going to be fighting with myself. I'm not going to be going back and forth with myself. I made the commitment. I made the decision. It's going to be up to me to be consistent. And so when you are consistent, what was once difficult, what was once hard, what was once a struggle, it becomes easy. What is it that you need to become easy for you? Whatever that is, all it takes is you being consistent. All it takes is you getting up when you don't feel like it. That's what it takes. It takes you calling yourself out and saying, no, I'm not going to be in this same place again. I'm not going to allow someone to mistreat me again. I'm not going to allow myself to stay in a relationship where I am suffering. I'm not going to allow myself to stay in this toxic environment. It's enough. Enough is enough. Like, when are you going to get to that point? There is a power in showing up for you. There is a power in being consistent. There is a power in calling yourself out when you fall short. Because when you are consistent, you attract success. When you are consistent, things start to flow better. So let this be the year that you show up for you. What is one thing that you will commit to doing every single day? Not every other day, every single day. What one thing will you commit to that will make you better? What one thing will you commit to that will make your life better? What one thing will you commit to that will make everyone who comes in contact with you say, I'm so glad I got a chance to meet this person. This person transformed my life with their words. This person transformed my life with the way that they live. They transformed my life because I'm looking at them being consistent. I'm looking at them being disciplined. I'm looking at them show up, even in the midst of adversity, even in the midst of pain and heartache and rejection and disappointment. They are still showing up. They inspire me. Who are you going to inspire? As I always say, it's your time. It's your turn. Let's go.